Right, so it's a bit late now, but can I remind everybody that there may be adult content in this audits do, why don't you get the faults? And this is number two, part two, whichever way, number two that you want to think about it. We covered the topic and we started the topic a couple of weeks ago. And we were talking about how demoralizing it is. They haven't thrown either of you under the bus yet. How demoralizing
It's
it
been 10 seconds.
Yeah, the key word there's yet.
But yeah, we're talking about last time we were talking about sometimes they have recognized that they've done something wrong and we still need to mention it for some reason. So just be conscious of that. If they've recognized it, there's no need to re-mention it. And then today I was hoping that we would be talking about some of the solutions, which Vicky might have been writing about on a certain Facebook group. So that's where I'm hoping to go. Terry?
Was there a question there? I just heard my name. That's all I heard.
If you were concentrating, what do you remember of last week? What do you want to get out of today? Same question for Ian.
Seriously, do I remember last week? I don't remember yesterday, Fiona. You've over.
All right, Ian?
I think it's,
Bless you, Vicky.
We can't ignore when things aren't right, but there is more than one way of solving things or helping improve things that aren't right, and it's exploring those different methodologies.
When we were talking last week, we were talking that.
I'll shut up now. You carry on.
The phrase we have identify, analyze, identify the fault, analyze the fault, and then remedy it. That doesn't mean we need to throw that away. It's something that we need in our subconscious. We still need to be able to do that, but we don't need to dump it on the person who's sitting in the driver's seat doing their very best. Really don't. So please reflect on how you were taught to drive. Reflect on your part 2 and your part 3. Most of us we had a hard time with it, and I know there was a few people on my intake that just said, no, I'm not putting up with that, and they just didn't come on.
Your sound's a bit up and in and out, Fiona.
Yeah. I'll check it. Right, you talk to me for a bit then.
Well, are we gonna start with the thing? Are we gonna put it out there straight away, or are we gonna?
I've got to turn my camera off if that's the case.
Woo! I mean, oh, it's a shame. Oh no.
No, the background. The camera off. The background.
Oh, I see.
We will.
Well, yeah. After last time, we need to give some. Well, what did you instead? A bit more. What did you instead? So yeah, let's start with it because it's a big subject and it gives us time to go through some things.
Here's my thing. Ta-da! It's as good as it gets, people.
That's good enough, man.
Go on then. Can anyone tell what it is yet?
Too soon, Fiona. Too soon.
It's the funniest looking circle I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you want to talk through as you do it?
No, you took me through it.
Oh, okay. This is a model that you'll find in psychology. If any of you students out there are doing psychology at A-level, they may already know about this. And it's called the behavior triangle. And we'll start at the top. So this isn't an industry thing for us. We've nicked it from the psychology industry. So we'll start at the top, Fiona, just because. So Fiona's going to put behavior at the top point of the triangle. Oh, it's a different color. Ooh.
There you
I'll
go.
do. Cool. And then in bottom right, Fiona's gonna put feelings. Let's go for feelings. But it could easily be emotions as well. And in the other corner, Fiona is going to put thoughts or beliefs or any of those kind of words. Now, like I said, this came from psychology, and it's basically how humans behave. It's what makes us humans. Every human on the planet is this. Okay. Now, oh, sorry, I forgot. Yeah. So all these three are inextricably linked, as Fiona is going to show now. So thoughts and feelings are linked, behavior and thoughts are linked, feelings and thoughts are linked, behavior and what everyone else I haven't said, it's all linked together. And it's how we act. It's how we are as humans. Now, in our industry, we just tend to look at the top bit, the behavior. Okay. Now, if you want to change behavior because they're inextricably linked, you have to work on the feelings and thoughts as well. Otherwise, the behavior will not change long term. It can't. So what we tend to do is we tend to say things like, oh, the examiner really like that, or what do you think the examiner will say if you go 33 and a 30, or, park like that and you'll pass your test. And we dangle this carrot in front of them, this test carrot. Behave like I'm telling you to behave, and you'll be fine for your test. So what do people do? They follow you because you're the expert and they behave how you want them to behave to pass the test. Now, I'm going to say next, don't you? They've passed their test. You're not there anymore. They're going to revert to type because all you've dealt with is the behavior. You've not tapped into the thoughts or beliefs behind the behavior or their feelings or emotions behind that behavior. All of you, I guarantee you've had a little think of a behavior you had today. Behind that behavior was your thoughts and feelings in that moment. And they're all linked. It's not just behavior that's, determined by thoughts and feelings. Your feelings are determined by your behavior and your thoughts. It's like the way you behave if you're in a pub with one friend and if you're in a pub with 5 friends. Your feelings of being in a gang, in a community, will adapt your behavior and your thoughts about yourself while you're out. Think about the last time if you ever got a bit angry driving the car.
Driving a car, oh well.
Lee, are you on mute yet?
I've done it.
Thanks, Lee.
I've got something else as well. Just looking at this.
Yeah.
You're in
That's
mid,
cool.
no, you're in mid-flow, Terry.
Where have you got? I'm looking for your face, Fiona. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm looking for your face.
Not here. This way.
So this is from psychology, and we'll go into this a little bit in a moment. Basically, if you want to change behavior long term, you have to change the thoughts and feelings behind that behavior to change it. Otherwise, you won't change. Go, Fiona.
I think there's another thing here. If you look at this, if you think about the average person that we've helped with some of these things, we say things about this, but we don't address it in a really meaningful way, and that's why the thoughts and beliefs have been managed. I think I believe that the traffic light means red. There's those sort of things. However, on test day, which is the thing that takes over? it's really obvious when you look at it. It's
Mm.
this here that becomes an overwhelming thing and will affect those too. So even when we're thinking about these as they're driving around and ourselves, as Terry said, are you right if I take that down?
Yeah, I think people can pause it and draw it themselves if they're watching a recording. Yeah.
Yeah, just come back and do it. Just come back and do it in a bit. But I think that the problem with any of these things is we don't treat people as the human that Terry's talking about. And if we don't address how someone's emotions are going to interact in any given moment, then we've kind of lost the plot a bit.
Like I say, it's from psychology, but we're not psychologists. We're not going to pretend to be psychologists. I've seen you, Vicky. We're not therapists. We don't pretend to be therapists, but we are, and it's not our job to understand someone's thoughts and feelings behind their behavior. That's the important thing. Our job is to help them understand their thoughts and feelings behind the behavior. So it doesn't really matter if we don't understand.
Yeah, we don't need to.
No. Go, Vicky.
You might be coming on to this in a bit, but I had an example today of a pupil who everything's fine. I'm going to be fine. Everything's fine. She's got a driving test booked for next Tuesday and her driving is falling apart. And every time we pull over and I try to get anything out of her, it's, oh, I know. So I say, right, talk to me about what's going on in your mind. Are you feeling under any pressure from anybody about the test? And sort of try and dig into what's changing in your mindset, what's going on for you. And everything says, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. So what you're going to do on the next part of the drive, I need to just go a bit, I need to go a bit slower and I need to scan around more because I'm missing some of my signs. Okay, so we carry on and it's just not happening. And this is escalating now. And she's very much, and she's been like it for a lot, she doesn't want to sort of dig deeper into her feelings. I'm fine. And I know Terry's going to help me out with a little bit of this, later in the week, but this is a different pupil. And I'm like, what do you do when you get those people who just don't want to dig deeper or don't have that, I don't know, dare I say it, self-awareness? I'm not sure. But it felt like an absolute struggle. And, based on the outward bit, she's not ready for a driving test.
There's a few things going on. And like you said, got something booked with Terry. So I think that's a brilliant thing. But we are going there. And it's about evidence, isn't it? It's about them seeing things maybe in a different way. And is it okay, everyone, to have a different opinion to someone else? It's okay to have different opinions about an event or something. But we will go into that, Vicky, and I think you've got a point. But from what I'm hearing, that's a really specific thing, and we've got to keep it quite general. But I'll keep that in mind. And I've certainly got loads of things that I would do. But if we focus on that one person rather than what can we do with the average person? Because she sounds like quite a specific person and quite something. But if we focus a bit more on in general with the normal, the average, is everyone okay with that? We'll do some.
Yeah, loads going on there, Vicky.
There is loads going on, and because we'll go down a rabbit hole with that, won't we, Terry?
Yeah, it could be half an hour later. Almost, we're just to finish discussing it. Maybe we'll have a chat with you at some point, Vicky, with that one.
Yeah, she said she's got something to do already.
Yeah, it's for somebody else.
A question I asked last week, and I just wondered if anyone thought about it. Usually, people ignore me. Well, these two do anyway. What do you already do that you know helps avoid fault finding. And some of you may sort of think, oh, I don't know what you mean, and you just don't recognise that you already do something. But sometimes there's just subtle things where you just say, I see where you're going, I see where you're going with that. And there are really some subtle little things that that you already do. So please try and think about those. Give yourself a pat on the back if we mention something that you already do, or if as close as, or as near as. We spoke about one thing that you can do is help people see the good things as well, because as much as we are thought focused, so are they. So there's one thing I'm thinking, Vicky, with your person, she's looking at all the bads. There's a lot of focus on the bads coming up to test. I recognise that in myself. Really, towards that, it was really hard to stay away from thought focus because we want to help. You have to remember that's what we do. We are helpers. We want to help people learn to drive. So you have to give yourself a pat on the back because that's why we get fixated on it. Ian, got any thoughts?
Yeah. Not necessarily about what we're discussing, but I've got loads of them.
Loads of them.
I think it's
You need the toilet, yeah? Is that what it is?
No, not now. Thanks. Every time you say me name, you make me crap myself. Because I just see that bus coming towards me now. I think the triangle is a great image, and you've got to deal with all parts of it, and all parts influence the other parts, and it's talking, talk about the good things and how they feel about the good things, and how they made to feel about that, and what can they do to make that feeling happen at different times. If it's a behavior thing, you've got thoughts and feelings and beliefs and all the non-tangible stuff. And there will be times when they felt the same way about stuff that they're racing now, that they're getting right. And how did they come to the point they're at now with that?
Yeah.
Because it's very rare you just flick a switch and you go from being rubbish to brilliant. It takes effort. One of the things I like about the triangle is there's two steep slopes and you've got to climb up it. But if you look at the other way, you're going to slide down it. And now I'm just waffling. That bus is getting nearer and nearer there.
Terry, got any thoughts? Because I've got some.
Yeah, just some advice about the triangle. Don't hide it. Be transparent with your students with it. Explain to them what it is. Explain to them how it works, so they understand where all these questions and this interest you have in their thoughts and feelings comes from. So if they understand where you're coming from, they're more likely to play along with you. So tell them about it, and don't wait till they can drive before you do this. Do it in the very first lesson.
Mm.
So sometimes when I was teaching learners, we would just stop and I just do that with my hands, and they go, "Yeah, I was thinking about," or "Yeah, I felt a bit, whatever." So be transparent with it. It's a tool for them to use as much as you. So share it with them.
Job interviews and everything else. Absolutely. Another thing to do with that is if anyone is an avid book reader or an audio book listener, there are a whole bunch of books that address this in different ways, giving it different pictures and different formats. An example would be the chimp. Anyone read it?
You went quiet then, Fiona.
Is it just
When you said the book name?
The Chimp Paradox? If anyone knows it. And it's literally it gives people a picture to the same things that we're talking about. So it's just different pictures that give people some mental chewing gum about what's going on with them. But we're looking at this in terms of evidence, and that's what you need to get people to look at, the evidence of everything that's going on. You're a whole person, you're not just something that's driving a car, because you're not a machine. Yeah, not a machine.
I would add as well, this will be new to a vast majority of people watching this. So don't go and have a play with this, struggle with it, or it's not working and give up. Because Ian, Fiona, and I have been using this triangle for a long, long time. And it does take a bit of practice. It does take time to get used to it. And it does take time to come from a completely non-judgmental place when you start these conversations.
Hell yeah.
You have to come with a blank head, with no anticipation about where the conversation is going to go, or no idea about where the conversation is going to go. And the one piece of advice I would give anybody who's going to start using these kind of techniques is to just be interested in what the person says with no judgment.
Because we are that too. Because if you think about what Vicky was saying earlier, she's trying to help. So Vicky's behaviour is affected by how she feels about the feelings of. So this is these triangles get intertwined quite easily, and it is really good.
But what I will also say as well, when you have a conversation with someone around the triangle, and you see a difference, so rewarding. Gives you a big buzz when we see, oh bloody hell, this is working. This is bloody good now, because we fixed that. And when we're just going back to the first one of these, the forget the faults. This is why you forget about the fault. The fault isn't important. What's important is what caused that behavior. And it's going to have something to do with the way they were feeling at that moment, or what they were thinking about at that moment. So when you ask questions around thoughts and feelings, don't go, how are you feeling about that? It's easy. How are you feeling at that precise moment you did that? That's much more difficult. All right, let's go and do it again. Try shrugging your shoulders next time.
I think it's really true. It's a phrase that I've used in loads of things, and I've heard it somewhere else first. But if you do fix the feeling, the thought will take care of it.
For those who didn't hear, because Fiona's mic is up and down, if you do fix the feeling, the thought will take care of itself. So true. So true.
Ian's written a comment, but I think it's to me. Identify a negative or irrational belief and challenge it. And the word challenge, I think, is using in a very gentle way. A lot of people use the word challenge and think it's like, and I think it's a word that's misunderstood. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely right, Ian. Of course, Ian's right. If someone doesn't have a belief, or someone does have a belief that's an incorrect belief, you can't let them keep thinking that. Like, well, I shouldn't be on the road because I'm a learner. That's why I get stressed about cars behind or whatever, or cars coming towards me. That's a negative, irrational belief, and it needs to be challenged in a gentle way to help them understand. Sorry.
Everyone hates learners.
Yeah. And you can't, and one other thing as well, it is impossible to tell someone how to think and feel. So you mustn't try to change their feelings. You can't. It's a waste of time. what you need to understand, your job is to help them understand that the thought and feeling isn't necessarily correct or helpful, and that they're the only ones who can change it. And I will go back to an example. I use this all the time in my training. Everybody right now, go back to being a teenager, being dumped by the boy or girl of your dreams. Go back there now. All right? It happened to everyone. What did your mates say? How did your mates help you?
Oh, don't worry about it. Plenty more fish in the sea.
Plenty more fish in the sea. He wasn't right for you anyway. She was a B, he was a Y. You know, don't worry about it. There'll be someone new. Or let's go out and get drunk, or you're old enough. Let's whatever. Next question. Did any of that work? No. They couldn't change the way you were feeling.
It's like when a husband says, calm down. Don't be ridiculous.
What's wrong with that? I mean, of course, Vicky, exactly.
It's the same as saying relax. You go
Yeah.
tense. You tense up when somebody says relax.
Yeah.
Fighting back the punch.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you'll be fine for your test. I mean, is there a more useless comment to make ever in the history of mankind?
Well, we do it everywhere. We do it with people on standards checks. It's
Don't worry, you'll be fine. Oh my God.
yeah. You've had your training now. You know what you're doing. You've been an ADI for 80 years.
But it comes from a nice place. It's just not very helpful.
No, and it just makes us annoyed, doesn't it?
Yeah. Feel like not listened to, perhaps.
Sorry?
Damages rapport. Feels like we're not being listened to.
Sorry?
To kill you. One more time. Feels like you're not being listened to. Anyone else? And it damages rapport, Fiona. I hate doing that.
It does. Rapport. What happens when rapport's lost, guys? What can you get out of somebody?
Shrug of the shoulders. Or I don't know, you told me you're the instructor. So, yeah.
Or I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Vicky.
Vicky.
I'll be fine. Well, I won't do that on a test, will I?
Yeah.
So it was a choice then. Why did you do it today?
Yeah.
She literally told me today she knew exactly what she knows how to drive. So show me then. And it's like, it's just not happening. I didn't obviously didn't say it quite as abruptly as that.
I was going to say,
I know what I'm doing.
we're challenging. It's hard. It's really hard.
Have any of you guys got any questions while you're sat here listening? Because that's why you're here, so you can ask questions and, like, you know, something pops in your head while we're chatting, you can. No, anyone's got any questions? No. Sadness reaching for that mute button. I can sense it.
Oh, dear.
No.
Yeah,
No.
she's moving the mouse. Taking a while.
It looks like she's trying to find, doesn't it? Maybe she's trying to find the meat from a vegetarian dinner.
I can remember many years ago. I had a student, and similar to Vicky, it doesn't matter what you ask her, what you do, what you're trying to find out. It took so long, just couldn't find out. After half hour, she'd get out of the car. I said, "Oh, I don't know, thank you very much. I'll see you next week." I went, okay. And that happened quite a few times. And it wasn't till we came up towards the test, I started chatting, and I started getting a little bit deeper. And it was the reason why she didn't like driving was because her dad was involved in a very bad accident, and she sat in the hospital with him while he was unconscious. and that was the reason why she just didn't like driving all the time. So yeah.
And great example. Good. Sorry, Fiona.
No, I was just agreeing, but these are the things when we do look at that behavioural triangle and the fact that we're all, even young drivers, are very complex. There's a lot of years of experience. Thanks, Steve.
And that's reminded me, Keith. Thank you. I've forgotten again. Got it back. It's come back. It's come back. No, it's gone.
Got again.
Oh, here we go.
We're all living in Terry's fishbowl.
If you do forget about the thought and you just focus on the thoughts and behaviour behind, so the thoughts and the feelings behind that behaviour, you will get to the root cause much, much quicker.
Oh, yeah.
If you find yourself going on a block 15 times because you still can't get something, they're not going to get it until you fix the thing behind it, which is the thoughts and the feelings about something. Sadna, I saw you unmute as just after Keith spoke. Yeah, now's your chance, man. All the way from San Francisco. Sadna Patel, give her a round of applause. Yeah.
Playing with her backgrounds.
I forgot what I was going to say. I totally
Have
forgot.
you got teriitis?
I'm so sorry. So, when it comes to this behavior, thoughts and feelings, and at the back of your mind, there's a test coming up. They are nervous. They're going to panic and this, but yet without the test getting closer, they can drive perfectly well. I try and do mock tests as well. It's good. It's looking really good, but a week before, few days before the test, it just goes downhill. And sometimes I just feel like it's also to do with the family background where maybe there's some pressure put on them. If you maybe fail for this test, who's going to pay for the next and stuff like that. Sometimes I feel like the pressure comes from the parents as well.
I've had a few students that won't even tell anybody. They won't tell their parents, they won't tell their friends. And they seem to be more relaxed because if they fail, it doesn't matter. There's no pressure.
Yeah. Just a not yet anyway. But this, are we going to do a part 3?
Oh, we can do. It's a big old subject, isn't it?
I think so. Because I feel that there hasn't been any concrete, what to do then. You about someone's just come in.
Yeah, I let them in.
I am. But I do think there's mileage to doing a little bit more.
Let's do a part 3 then.
We're going to do part 3. We already know when it is. So get your pens out. You've written a massive.
Then let's start cooking.
What?
Then let's start cooking.
No, he's already written a massive shopping list. He's been writing loads down. Wednesday, the 12th of March at 6:30.
Wednesday, the 12th of March. Sadna, you have so much there to talk about to do with the triangle. Where is the pressure coming from? Why is that pressure? How does that make you feel? What challenges do you face? What can you do today to make yourself feel better? Or,
What can you do tonight? What can you do tomorrow? What can you do? There are so many things. Yeah. But it's
just be interested in what she says or what he says, and just help that person find a way. Which is what we'll start. Are we going to go that way? The next one? We never know what we're doing until we start doing it, I don't think. No, we don't need. It's not like we planned this, Fiona. We just turn up at 6:20 and let's go. We could. No, I've said that people will know. Yes, let's plan as we normally do. Let's meet for 2 hours before and plan what we're going to do, Fiona, because we're professionals. Yeah, no, don't have one. Very much on the hoof. Part three, good. I'll put the link in. We'll get the link out. We'll get it sent out.
Thank you, everybody.
Ian, any final thought? Because he's been quite quiet, hasn't he?
Well, I'm listening to everything you used to say. I think it's not as simple as just telling people what they should have done, which is the way we were trained, and it's still endemic out there. And we've got to start being curious and interested about what's going on behind the behaviour, to stop the behaviour from making them feel bad and think they can't do it.
Well, also, some people are uncomfortable with the word "how did it make you feel," because it seems a bit odd. So it's changing words and things, Ian.
And I think, we should never forget that with good rapport, we're going to make people think about that, and we don't necessarily need to hear a response from them. If we are doing our job properly, we don't have to hear the answer to those types of questions, but we can see the difference in the person as a result of them.
That's a good point. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, man. Lovely place to finish. Ready for part 3.
I think there's a part 3 coming. We don't know. We do know where it's going, because it's going to be part 3, Wednesday, the 12th of March. Thank you all that have given up your time, come and joined us. We do enjoy it, and we do enjoy your feedback and interaction. And thank you very much for that. Thank you to Terry. Thank you to Ian. And,
thank you to Fiona.
It's been emotion.
Been emotion, man. Yeah, emotion.
Try and go, peeps.
Try it. Have a go this week. Next 2 weeks, have a go. See how you get on, and just have a play. No pressure.
So, if you want, you can strike a pose.
I like this pose.
I'll find the button though.
As per usual. Not had that before.
Oh, look, it's there.
Oh, there. Yeah.